Watch how fast this pizza disappears. Splitting it up into equal pieces is satisfying, but it also changes how we count it. Stick around because in a minute, you'll see the math behind what happens when you eat nearly every slice of a massive pie, leaving only one behind. Today, we're using pizza to understand exactly how fractions work. As Kitty always says, slice it nice. We're all experts at counting whole objects, but when things are broken into pieces, we need fractions to describe what's left. A fraction is a specific way to show and talk about parts of a whole thing. The word itself comes from the Latin word fractus, which means broken. You can see it here carved into these stone pieces. But for the math to work, every piece must be the same size. If the slices are uneven, you don't have true fractions. A fraction simply tells us how a whole object was divided up and how much of it we are dealing with. Let's look at this pizza. It's partitioned into 4 equal sections. We start with the bottom number, or the denominator. This tells us the total number of pieces. If you eat one of those 4 slices, we need a way to track it. That's the top number, called the numerator. It shows how many pieces you actually have. When you have 1 out of 4 pieces, we say you have 1/4 of the pizza. Every fraction follows this pattern. The bottom number shows the total cuts made, and the top number shows how many pieces are being counted. So what happens if you eat all 4 slices of that pizza? When you have 4 out of 4 pieces, 4/4, you have the whole pizza again. Remember that massive pizza from the start of the video? Watch closely as it is rapidly cut into exactly 8 thin, perfectly equal slices. If you eat 7 of them and leave just 1 on the tray, you've consumed 7/8 of the pizza. Using these numbers allows us to show exactly how much of the pizza is gone and how close we are to finishing the entire thing. Interestingly, you can cut 2 pizzas in different ways, but still end up with the same amount of food. These are called equivalent fractions. They use different numbers to represent the exact same portion of the whole. Look at these side by side. On the left, 1 out of 2 pieces is shaded. That's 1/2. On the right, 2 out of 4 pieces are shaded, 2/4. The total area is identical. Even if a pizza is cut into 8 pieces, eating 4 is the same amount. 4/8, 2/4, and 1/2 all equal the exact same thing. This shows that the total amount you have is what matters, regardless of how many times it was sliced. Let's see what you've learned with a quick challenge. Question 1. If a pizza has 4 slices and you eat 1, what fraction did you eat? 1/4. Question 2. What do we call the bottom number that shows the total number of slices? That's the denominator. Question 3. What does the fraction 4/4 equal? The whole thing. Question 4. Is 2/4 the same amount as 1/2? Yes, they are equivalent. Last one. If you eat 3 out of 8 slices, what is the fraction? 3/8. If you got those right, congratulations. You have officially mastered the basics of how parts make up a whole. Subscribe to the Lab Crew to join our next math adventure. To recap, fractions show parts of a whole. The bottom number is the total pieces, and different fractions can represent the same amount. Next time you have a sandwich, ask a grown-up to help you cut it into equal pieces and see if you can name the fraction. Now that you've handled pizza slices, what happens when numbers go around a circle? Click right here to learn to tell time like a pro.